powerful people as powerful questions. Why? Because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get what you focus on. So it's no secret we're going to ask ourselves a question as a CEO. It's one of my philosophies. I got 12 rules for life, by the way. This is one of them. And so we're going to ask ourselves the question, who has my customer? Who has my customer? Who is someone I can go to one time and influence them and get access to their network? Now that's how you start off. So if I was, I don't know, I'll mention Sarah. I'm talking to Sarah, who's a financial planner who doesn't see herself in sales. A financial planner, not in sales. Figure that out. Okay, mindset we had to change. And she wants to help families be able to have insurance in case something happens. Then my first question to her was, well, how many leads do you have to talk to? And who has your customers? She said, well, I don't know. I think about that. I said, well, let's think about it. She said, well, schools. I said, well, could you put down PTA associations? Yes, PTA associations, like they would have parents in there. I said, well, let me ask the question. How many PTA associations, presidents, first name, last name, phone number, and email do you have in your database? It's public information, by the way. She says, well, I want zero or not enough. That's the answer of most people. It's okay. Let's say PTA. You're not trying to sell the president. You're trying to get access to the network. That's called bottom down selling. That's okay. Who else might have your customer? And as we sat back, she, believe it or not, she talked about cheerleading squads and how parents support their kids who are in cheerleaders or who are in sports. The point I want to make to you is that the average person, when it comes to POIs, they work with maybe one or two, maybe a month. The superstars, they're generating leads, the CEOs work with 25 plus a month. I come to a close with this because I don't want to just leave you with Sarah, who's wouldn't be in business today, she would tell you, if she didn't implement the POI strategy. Wasn't a new idea, but it works. And that is, you think about who did this globally. Think about Starbucks. When Starbucks first got started, did the world need a $5 coffee? Absolutely not. In fact, it was laughable to have a $5 coffee. No way, impossible. But that wasn't the question Starbucks asked themselves. The question Starbucks asked themselves was, who has our customer? Sitting around a conversation, I wasn't there, something like this. Someone raised their hand and they said, hey, Barnes and Noble. Now, Barnes and Noble has gone out of business. They might be back in business now from what I'm hearing. But they went out, talked to someone, and got into 583 Barnes and Nobles. Then someone else sitting around Starbucks said, who else has our customer? And someone said grocery stores. Now I'm here in Washington, D.C., nation's capital, and might be in your area as well where you are. But if you go into a Whole Foods or a Target or a grocery store, you see what? A Starbucks. Someone said Starbucks. And then someone else sitting around, and you can do this as well. It doesn't cost you a penny. Someone else sitting around said, I got one more. Someone said, where? Who has our customer? Who else? Someone said airports. The strategy, the sales strategy was go get into airports, influence someone one time, and our customers will be there. So my message to you would be implement the POI strategy that will allow you to at least get people who may have an interest, want, or desire. Doesn't mean they're going to buy, but now you're talking to people in your ideal market, and that gives you hope. Long-winded answer. I'll make sure the rest of them aren't that long, but I wanted to take a moment to do a teaching moment. Back over to you, Dr. V.
No, because I'm really, it was so practical, and people started putting, I am a champion, putting the person of influence into the chat. There's so much in what you said. And on the flip side of adversity, we often talk about what is your mindset and what are you saying to yourself? What are some of the limiting beliefs? So actually thinking about who has your customer. So if you are a Lale flower, who has your customer? And begin to actually pursue. So your goal is 25 and getting in front of people, and just that ratio, anyone who does math, the more people you get in front of when you're good and you have been honing your craft, the greater the possibility that they then become your customer. So there's so much in there, in mindset, in strategy, in consistency, in actually getting the work done. So moving from hoping or wishing and actually doing.